let's cut out the BS and tell you straight that it is entirely your fault that you failed and are getting these bad grades. Don't get offended, I'm not done yet. There are factors in life that you cannot control, and there are other factors that you are entirely responsible for. Complaining about stuff that you cannot control is just a waste of time. So unless you're telling me that you have done literally everything you can possibly do to maximize your results, stop despairing and start analyzing your faults. Unleash your inner beast. Become the luminescent, limitless lion. So a mistake I made was not understanding how my exam worked. By this, I mean how the answers needed to be formatted or what the examiners were looking for in particular. Remember that an exam is basically a game with specific rules, and those who understand the rules will gain the competitive advantage. Every question in your exam is written in a particular manner for a reason. For example, describe X and explain X do not mean the same things. Evaluate Y and justify Y do not have the same answer. You need to realize that if you're writing an answer, it needs to follow a particular blueprint and structure. So if you do not follow those, of course you will not score any point. I can tell that you had those moments where you wrote an answer that you thought was correct and yet you gained no marks for it and decided to blame on the mark scheme. Well, that mark scheme is telling you the blueprint, so learn it and start applying it. Not understanding the topics. Yeah, no brainer. But listen, it is very much a if A then B statement. You understand topic, you score well. You do not understand, you do not score well. Also, I'm going to bet that there are topics that you seriously do not understand and decided to skip over during revision. And when the exam came with those exact topics, you couldn't answer anything. Memorizing a couple of facts and figures will not help much, especially when it is an application question where the context is different but the general concept is the same. Make sure you understand the topic well enough. So, how can you do that? Here are some quick tips I use to help me understand the topic. First, realizing that it is a game with rules. So to play the game, I need to accept the rules and do not question them. Then I will try to understand the topic by making myself some questions to see if I can recall their information. Of course, I will do some extra research, to properly consolidate my knowledge. Then I will blurt out everything I know in a piece of paper to see what I know well and what I not know so well. Finally, I will try stretching myself. So I will ask myself why something doesn't work when a variable is changed, or what are the consequences when you change the variables, all within the realm of this game. Not understanding how to revise. Major mistake for me, and trust me, it was an ego hit. I was the kind of person who thought that reading, highlighting and rewriting my notes would be a good idea. I was also so egotistical that I thought I knew how to answer the question without actually having done any sort of practice questions or exam conditioned revision. Time to switch up the ways you study, my lion. Overall, your study should have some form of recall system and some form of repetition system. Think of something you are good at. I do not care whether that is video games, a sport, or doing your makeup. You have become proficient at it after having recalled your actions several times and you have practiced and improved over many months. Same goes here really. The revision techniques I use currently are a combination of Feynman technique, which is basically explaining the topic in very simple terms, digital flashcards, which I make on Remnote or on Notion, and exam style questions. I'll make a future video talking about all the study techniques that I think a student should use, so subscribe to stay tuned for that. Let's get into the intrinsic reasons, okay? Chances are your health is pretty bad right now. Your sleeping schedule is completely messed up with you scrolling on social media at night. Your attention span is worse than a goldfish, which leads you to not being able to focus. You indulge in very bad habits for you, such as eating junk food, engaging in PMO, playing video games for 4 hours a day to get a stupid, useless rank. You scroll on social media with no sense of enjoyment or whatsoever and keep wasting time. You procrastinate each deadline and keep repeating to yourself that you will change, and yet nothing changes. Overall, your mental and physical health are pretty shit, let's be honest. Well, your body and mind are giving you these signals and you need to start acting on them. You need to maximize your overall state. Cut out on the bad habits and addiction, leave toxic people out, regain control of your mind by detoxing and journaling. Start eating more healthy, getting some sort of exercise, sleeping adequately, socializing with like-minded people, building meaningful connections. Refresh your mind and body so you can enter the next level and become the absolute very best version of yourself. Not understanding your own mind, i.e. mindset. I swear, if you just sighed or rolled your eyes, I will slap you. This is not a wishy-washy answer just for me to extend the video. I was like you, exactly like you. Literally every person who told me to work on my mindset, I hated them. Oh, I need the answers, not the philosophical BS. Oh, Said, show me how to get an A plus, easy, quick, no effort. Tell me the step-by-step guide with no effort whatsoever to get the top grade, Said. Said, do my work for me. Let me get the results of something I didn't put any effort in. No, my lion, I will not. Because if I were to do the work for you, if I were to bring you up to the top levels of studying, you will not be able to maintain it. Like, genuinely think about it and do not get offended. If you were to be put among the smartest students on the planet and given a test about a topic you all studied, would you be able to keep up with them with your defeatist mindset? I know you, my friend. Oh, well, I'm gonna fail anyway, so why try? I cannot possibly get the top grade in my school. Oh, I cannot become the best version of myself because what if X happens? What if Y happens? Well, if Z happens, then all this will go for waste. You need to prepare and study for exams as if you wanted to conquer over every student and become the best. Become the number one. And when you go with that mentality, you will not need for motivation. You will be so driven that you will start acting like a 1% student and achieving the results of a 1% student. Literally, look at the top students in your class and how nonchalant they are in terms of studying. I bet they have boasted about how well they do sometimes, as if this was an easy homework for them. They have gone in every exam with the mindset of being the best, and as a result, they become the very best. They did put in the work, but their mindset is what led them to win. Start adopting an egotistical, growing mindset and let your actions do the speaking for you. Another thing about mindset is realizing that even if you fail, it is a learning opportunity for you. I have seen so many people break down over a grade, and I used to as well. Full on crying and moping because even after all the hours I put in, the result was still bad. Well, guess what? It's good that you failed. Literally be glad. It shows that your study methods are wrong or your mindset was wrong, so now you need to change something and get a better result next time. What the majority of students do after failing is cry, blame others, and then use the same tactics again that led them to fail. And then they fucking wonder why they failed again. Do not be like them. You are a lion who knows better. Sit down with pen and paper and think of all the possible reasons that you failed that are within your control, and then come up with action plans to conquer them. One last crucial advice. I'm willing to bet that a lot of the bad grades you have received are from subjects you absolutely hate studying. So you barely even try studying them. Well, if you want to know how I studied the subject I hated the most, which is chemistry, and yet achieved one of the top grades in my school, you need to click here.